Hi, I'm Gareth Spence and welcome to Tech Talk. Adtran's Intellifi demo is proving to be a hot ticket at this year's Fiber Connect. To walk me through the demo and explain why it's proving so popular, I'm joined by Gaurav Negi. Gaurav, before we talk through the demo, can you explain what Intellifi is?
Sure. Intellifi is our game-changing mesh Wi-Fi platform where we've been able to pair our intuitive mobile app and operator portal along with top-of-the-line hardware, which includes our Wi-Fi 7 gateways as well as our 10 gig devices in order to deliver gigabit speeds to your fingertips.
From what I've been hearing on the show floor, the customer experience is one of the key standouts of Intellifi. Can you show the customer app and how it all works?
Sure, let's take a look at it. So this mobile app acts as the primary user interface for the subscriber. It allows them to fully manage their Wi-Fi network as well as set up content filtering and parental controls for perhaps kids in the house. The mobile app also gives them the ability to do self-installs where controllers can be onboarded using easy to understand on-screen instructions. The mobile app also gives you the ability to extend your Wi-Fi by adding new mesh satellites. It's as easy as powering up the satellite, now going to the mobile app home screen, clicking add, and you're off to the races. Now behind the scenes, the satellite will get added to the Intellifi network. Now going back to the home screen, the next thing I'd like to highlight is the visual node status indicator. We use a combination of colors and codes to denote node health, again, making it very easy to non-technical users to understand the overall health of their Intellifi network. Now, if needed, you always have the option to dive into further details, such as Wi-Fi specific radio settings. The next thing we can take a look at is the ability to run a speed test from the mobile app itself. This gives you the ability to run a speed test and be able to diagnose whether the issue is Wi-Fi related or the internet service itself. Now, this speed test feature also captures latency and jitter, which might be important for your at-home, semi-serious Fortnite gamer. You also have the ability to look at the various devices that are connected to the Wi-Fi network and set up profiles. Within these profiles, you are able to associate multiple devices that are linked to this specific user and set up parental controls and schedules accordingly. You also have the ability to assign a primary device to each user, and because of which, be able to set up presence sensing. So when an individual leaves or returns back home, you get a nice little notification. Scrolling further down, you also have the ability to share guest Wi-Fi access through a very convenient QR code that's also available through the mobile app. I'll also mention there's a very nifty little AI tool that's built into the app called the AI Diagnostics tool, which gives you the ability to pinpoint the root cause of any issue that could be going on. All you really have to do in this case is specify the symptoms that could be going on, select the devices that you're seeing the issue on, and hit confirm. The tool runs a thorough scan of your entire network and then within 2 to 3 minutes spits out a result of all the issues that could be going on and provides potential fixes as well.
The app looks great for end customers, but how does it help service providers?
So let's dive into MeshView. MeshView acts as the primary user interface for your operators. This is the tool that gives them visibility into the mesh Wi-Fi network. So the one thing I'll highlight here is MeshView is integrated into our Mosaic 1 software suite of tools. And so there's two ways you can essentially launch it. It's available through the Care portal as well as through the Launchpad that's available on the home screen of Mosaic 1. For the purposes of today's demo, let's start with the Launchpad. So clicking into MeshView, So now let's pull up one of our sample subscribers, Mr. Sam Finnegan. From here, this takes you to the home network view. This is a nice high-level view of the overall health of the mesh network for this specific subscriber. Over on the top right, you'll see an indicator of the network speeds. The last time a speed test was ran for this subscriber, what those results were. Further down, you also have a nice little chart showing the various nodes that are part of this Intellifi network, and at a high level, what is the current health status of that node. Again, you don't have to know the technical details, the RSSI values for each node. You can simply look at the color indicators to know that these nodes are in a good health at this point. Over on the left, you have more information about the controller. And you also have the ability to kick off the AI diagnostics tool, again, which was also available in the mobile app that I was showing earlier. Again, similar to the mobile app, all you have to do is specify the symptoms that you're seeing along with the devices that you're seeing those symptoms on and click submit. Further down here, you have a nice little bar chart showing all the network speeds over time. And the CSR also has the ability to kick off a speed test as they're on the phone with the subscriber if they're concerned about their speed test results. Moving on to the node view. This is where you can dive a little further into node-specific issues that might be going on. So starting off with the controller, you have the ability to pull up detailed information on each radio that's present on this controller and what its current configuration looks like. Over on the right, you can also look at WAN status. All right, let's take the example of a satellite node and what kind of information can be gleaned from there. Again, very similar to the controller, you have detailed information on every single radio that's available on this controller. As well as what its backhaul connection looks like. What are the speeds that have been negotiated between the satellite node and the primary controller? Which comes in very handy when you're trying to diagnose the bottleneck, whether it is the backhaul connection or the front haul connection. All right, let's look at the devices view. So this gives you a list of all the various client devices that are connected to your mesh Wi-Fi network. So let's take the example of this specific iPhone. So let's take, for example, that this subscriber has called in reporting some type of speed-related issue. They've signed up for a 1 gig service and they're not getting those speeds. How do you then explain to that subscriber that this device is not capable of those speeds that they're expecting when they run a speed test from the phone? Max phi rate, this is the field you want to look for. This is what tells you the maximum capabilities of this device. And then the phi rate is the negotiated phi rate at this current point in time. The combination of the two will give you an idea of the performance expected on this device at this specific point in time, as well as what its maximum capabilities are. The next one we can take a look at is the configuration page. From here, again, the CSR has full configuration capabilities as far as being able to change the Wi-Fi SSID password on the fly as needed. A typical use case for this would be a subscriber has called in and has forgotten their Wi-Fi password. This gives the CSR the ability to reset their password for them, as well as LAN configuration capabilities. The next thing we'll touch upon is the field technician. This is the feature that gives the CSR direct access to the local GUI of the SDG. And by a click of a button, what MeshView does, it establishes a direct connection to the WAN side of that gateway device, giving the CSR full access into the entire feature set of that device. It's truly powerful. The next thing we can take a look at is the Advanced tab. From here, you have the ability to manage the firmware across all of your nodes, across your entire customer base. You have the ability to set upgrade schedules, make them periodic, upgrade once a month, once every quarter, what have you. You can also set up upgrade jobs and limit them to a specific set of nodes if needed. The Topology view gives you a nice visual representation of what your Intellifi network looks like, how the various nodes are connected, and what type of backhaul connection is present between two nodes. The lines, the dotted lines, the straight lines actually have a significance behind them. You can click on the legend and actually get a feel for what each color, what each type of line indicates. You also have the ability to see the various nodes that are connected to each client that's connected to each node, and be able to dive into further details that way. And lastly, the admin page. From this view, the CSR or the admin has the ability to customize the experience for the customer in the sense that you have the ability to upload your own company logo. Now this shows up in the Intellifi mobile app as it's loading. And over on the left, you have the various color themes. You have the ability to specify a primary color and a secondary color. Again, those settings show up within the mobile app.
Gareth, thanks for joining me today.